There is a moment in every person's life when the world goes quiet, when the noise of excuses, distractions, and expectations fades just long enough for one truth to rise above everything else. No one is coming to save you. It doesn't matter who hurt you, who doubted you, who left you, or who promised they would always be there. In the end, the only person who will walk every step of your journey is you, and that realization isn't meant to break you. It's meant to awaken you. Think about it. Every dream you hold in your heart, every goal you've whispered to yourself late at night, every vision of a better life that flickers in your mind, that is not someone else's responsibility. That is yours. Your success is not in the hands of luck, fate, or people who may or may not support you. Your success is in your decisions, your discipline, your willingness to keep going when everything around you screams stop. The world is full of people waiting for a miracle, waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to show up and unlock the door to their future. But the truth no one likes to admit is this: the door has been unlocked the whole time. Most people are just too afraid to push it open, afraid to fail, afraid to be judged, afraid to discover who they truly are without the shield of excuses. But you, right now, have a chance to choose differently. There is a fire inside you that you've ignored for too long. You felt it in moments when you knew you were meant for more. You felt it after every setback, every disappointment, every time life pushed you down and something inside whispered, "Get up, you're not done." That voice, that spark, that's your power. That's your potential begging you to stop waiting and start acting. Imagine the life you want. Really imagine it. Every detail, every achievement, every feeling of pride, freedom, and strength. Now understand this: that life will never happen by accident. It will be built by your hands, shaped by your choices, fueled by your persistence. Success doesn't show up for people who hope. It shows up for people who decide. People who look at their fears and walk forward anyway. People who understand that discomfort is a path, not a punishment. Yes, it's scary to take responsibility for your future, because once you accept that the power is yours, you can no longer blame the world for holding you back. But hidden inside that responsibility is the greatest freedom you will ever experience, the freedom to transform your life from the inside out. This is the moment when everything can change for you, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Right now, you have the strength, you have the potential, you have the fire. Stop waiting for someone to lift you. Stand up, take control. Your future is not a gift. Your future is a choice, and starting today, that choice is in your hands. There comes a point where you must look at your life, your habits, your choices, your outcomes, and accept a truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. You are responsible for everything you are and everything you will ever become. This isn't a burden, it's liberation. Because the moment you take full ownership of your life, you take back every ounce of power you once gave away. No more waiting, no more blaming, no more relying on circumstances to dictate your future. Accountability is the key that unlocks the strongest, most unstoppable version of you. Think about how easily people surrender control. They blame their childhood, their environment, their boss, their lack of support, even luck itself. But here's the hidden danger in that mindset. When you blame something else, you give it power over your life. You make yourself smaller, weaker, helpless, and you were never meant to live like that. Deep down, you know this. You know there is a version of you capable of extraordinary things, but that version only appears when you stop explaining why you can't succeed, and start taking action that proves you can. Self-accountability is not about guilt or shame, it's about strength. It's about standing up and saying, "My life is my responsibility from this moment forward." It's understanding that every habit you build, every choice you make, every hour you invest, either pushes you closer to your dreams or pulls you further away. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And that single decision is where your true power lies. The human brain is naturally wired for comfort. It looks for excuses because excuses protect you from discomfort, from challenge, from risk. But comfort is a silent killer of potential. Accountability forces you to face your truth, not to punish you, but to free you. When you own your weaknesses, you can change them. When you acknowledge your mistakes, you can learn from them. When you accept that your success depends on you, not the world around you, you become unstoppable. Ask yourself, what would happen if, today, you took complete responsibility for your goals? How would you move differently? Think differently? Act differently? You'd stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it. You'd stop making excuses and start making progress. You'd stop hoping for change and start becoming the change. Accountability is the bridge between intention and achievement. It's the force that turns vague desires into real results. When you wake up early instead of hitting snooze, that's accountability. When you work on your craft instead of scrolling mindlessly, that's accountability. When you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and purpose over laziness, that is accountability in action. You don't need permission, you don't need applause, you don't need anyone to validate your journey. You need one thing, the courage to look in the mirror and say, if I want a better life, it starts with me. This is your turning point. Stop running from your power. Own it, embrace it. Let it shape you into someone your future self will thank you for, because when you hold yourself accountable, you don't just chase success, you create it. There is a prison more powerful than steel bars or locked doors, a prison built inside the mind. And the truth is, most people live their entire lives trapped behind beliefs they never chose, limits they never questioned, and fears they never challenged. But the moment you realize those beliefs are not facts, everything changes. The limits that once defined you begin to crumble. The world that once felt small suddenly expands. And the version of you that was buried under doubt, insecurity, and hesitation begins to rise. From childhood, society teaches you to shrink yourself, to play it safe, to avoid risks. You hear phrases like, people like us don't succeed, or that dream is impossible, or be realistic. Over time, these ideas sink into your mind and disguise themselves as truth. But here's the reality, none of these beliefs are real. They are inherited, absorbed, learned, not chosen. And if they were learned, they can be unlearned. If they were created, they can be destroyed. Limiting beliefs whisper in your ear at your weakest moments. You're not good enough, you're not smart enough. What if you fail? These are not your voice, they are echoes from fear. And fear is a liar. Fear is the enemy of growth, the thief of potential, the silent killer of dreams. But once you recognize fear for what it is, it loses its power. Because fear thrives in shadows, not truth. Here's a powerful psychological insight. Your brain is designed to protect you, not propel you. It prioritizes safety over success, comfort over growth, familiarity over greatness. So when you dream big, your brain doesn't understand ambition. It only detects danger. It tries to pull you back to the known, even if the known is mediocre, painful, or unfulfilling. Your job, the job of every person who wants to rise, is to override that instinct, to train your mind to believe in possibility instead of limitation, to replace fear with courage and doubt with determination. Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped believing your limitations and started believing your potential. Imagine the doors you would open if you dared to take the risks you've been avoiding. Imagine the strength you would unlock if you stopped arguing for your weaknesses and started fighting for your greatness. The truth is, you have no idea how powerful you actually are. Not yet, because your potential has been suffocated beneath layers of old stories, stories written by other people, by society, by moments in your past that no longer define you. But today, you get to rewrite those stories. You get to choose beliefs that empower you, not imprison you. You get to decide who you become. Start telling yourself the truth. You are capable, you are deserving, you are strong enough, smart enough, and brave enough to live the life you dream of. Every belief you challenge becomes a chain you break. Every fear you confront becomes a step toward freedom. And every time you choose your potential over your limitations, you reclaim a piece of the person you were always meant to be. This is your rise. This is your breakthrough. destroy the beliefs that hold you back, and watch what happens when you finally step into the power that has been waiting inside you all along. Success is not built in a single moment of inspiration. It's built in the quiet hours when no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one is applauding. It's built in the repetition of small, almost invisible actions that compound over time into extraordinary results. The world loves to celebrate the big victories, the dramatic transformations, the overnight success stories, but what they never see is the consistency that created them. The days of disc, line, the hours of work, the commitment to show up even when motivation has completely disappeared. This is the truth most people avoid. Consistency is the ultimate superpower. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing. Consistency. Because consistency turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. It transforms average effort into unstoppable momentum. It takes small, humble beginnings and turns them into massive breakthroughs that seem impossible from the outside. Think about the greatest performers, athletes, builders, creators. None of them became who they are by doing something once. They mastered the art of showing up every day, of choosing progress over perfection, of doing the small things even on the days they didn't want to. That is the difference between those who dream of success and those who actually achieve it. Your brain is designed for patterns. What you repeatedly do becomes who you are. Every small habit, good or bad, creates neural pathways in your mind that strengthen with repetition. When you consistently choose discipline, your brain adapts. It becomes easier to do the right thing. Your identity begins to shift. You no longer try to succeed. You start to believe success is your natural state. This is why consistency is so powerful. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you are someone who follows through. And when you trust yourself, confidence rises, momentum grows. Your goals stop feeling impossible and start feeling inevitable. But consistency doesn't mean massive action every day. It means aligned action. It means staying committed even if the steps are small. Small steps compound. A single push-up becomes 10. 10 becomes 50. Learning for 10 minutes becomes an hour. Saving small amounts becomes financial freedom. Reading a few pages becomes a library of knowledge. Every great transformation in history started with one small, consistent action. Yet most people quit before the magic happens. They stop when progress is slow. They stop when results aren't immediate. They stop when effort feels heavy. But listen carefully. The moment you want to quit is the exact moment consistency would have changed everything. Because consistency doesn't reward you instantly. It rewards you relentlessly, quietly, invisibly, and then all at once. Your future self is not built by what you do occasionally, it's built by what you do consistently. If you commit to the process, the results will come. Maybe not today, maybe not next week, but they will come with absolute certainty. So show up, even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when no one believes in you yet. Those small actions you take today are shaping your destiny, and if you stay consistent long enough, success will have no choice but to bow to your persistence. Keep going. The compound effect is already working in your favor. You just haven't seen the explosion yet. Failure. The word alone scares people more than anything else. It stops dreams before they start, kills ideas before they grow, and paralyzes potential before it has a chance to breathe. But here's the truth, that the most successful people in the world understand. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the education. Failure is the refinement. Failure is the fuel that strengthens your character, sharpens your vision, and prepares you for greatness. Every person you admire, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader, has fallen more times than you can imagine. They've faced setbacks so painful that most people would have quit forever. But what separates them is not talent or luck. It's their relationship with failure. They do not see it as a dead end. They see it as data, as direction, as a message from life saying, not this way, try another. You have to understand something powerful. Failure is proof that you tried, proof that you stepped outside your comfort zone. proof that you had the courage to take action when others stayed still. Most people never fail because most people never try. They spend their lives hiding from risk, protecting their ego, clinging to comfort, and in doing so, they protect nothing but their own mediocrity. But you are not most people. When failure hits, and it will, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can allow it to shrink your spirit, or you can use it to expand your strength. Failure is not a sign that you are weak, it is a sign that you are on the path, a sign that you are moving, evolving, growing. If you never fail, you never stretch. If you never stretch, you never grow. And if you never grow, your dream remains just that, a dream. Think back on your life. Every moment that transformed you, every lesson that shaped you, every bit of wisdom you carry today, it came from the moments that didn't go as planned. Pain taught you resilience. Mistakes taught you wisdom. Loss taught you appreciation. Setbacks taught you strategy. Failure has always been your greatest teacher, you just didn't recognize it. There is a psychological power hidden in failure. When you survive something you thought would break you, your belief in yourself skyrockets. Your mind realizes that you are stronger than you ever imagined. And once you experience that strength, life can never intimidate you the same way again. You become dangerous, not because you avoid failure, but because you are no longer afraid of it. Greatness demands risk, and risk guarantees failure. But the people who rise in life are the ones who keep moving forward no matter how many times they fall. They understand that every setback carries the seeds of a greater calm. Eback. They use failure as feedback, not judgment, as fuel, not fear. So the next time you fall, don't hide, don't quit. Step back, analyze, adjust, and rise again. Every failure is a step forward if you choose to learn from it. And when you refuse to surrender, when you turn every fall into a foundation for your comeback, you become unstoppable. Remember this, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Embrace it, learn from it, and let every setback sharpen your hunger to rise higher than ever before. The greatest battle you will ever fight, will not be against the world, your circumstances, or the people who doubt you. It will be against yourself, against your thoughts, against the quiet voice inside that tells you to slow down, give up, stay comfortable, stay small. That voice has lived in your mind for years, maybe your whole life. It knows your insecurities, it knows your weaknesses, and it uses them to keep you exactly where you are. But success begins the moment you decide to confront that voice and defeat it. Your mindset is the command center of your entire life. It decides what you believe you can achieve, how you respond to challenges, how far you push, and how long you endure. A weak mindset destroys potential. A strong mindset builds empires. And the truth is, mastering your mindset is not a luxury, it is a necessity for anyone who wants to rise. Every day you wake up, a war is being fought in your mind. The war between fear and courage, the war between doubt and belief, the war between your potential and your excuses. And the side you feed is the side that wins. Most people lose the battle before they even begin because they let their thoughts control them instead of commanding their thoughts. They allow negative stories of unworthiness, failure, or fear, to play on repeat until they become their reality. But here's the power. You've been forgetting, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to empower. You can rewrite the narrative. You can silence the doubt. You can replace fear with confidence, insecurity with strength, hesitation with action. Your mind is the greatest weapon you possess, but only if you learn how to use it. A powerful mindset doesn't mean you never struggle. It means you never surrender. It means when fear shows up, you show up stronger. When doubt whispers, you answer with courage. When obstacles appear, you don't break. You adapt. You think differently. You respond differently. You choose solutions over panic, growth over complacency, perseverance over impulse. Understand this, the mind is a tool, and like any tool, it must be trained. You train it through discipline, through repetition, through refusing to accept thoughts that diminish you, through surrounding yourself with environments, people, and influences that elevate your thinking, instead of poisoning it with negativity. Your environment shapes your mindset. Guard it ruthlessly. One of the most powerful psychological truths is that your brain believes whatever you tell it consistently. If you tell it you're weak, it will believe you. If you tell it you're capable, it will believe that too. So speak strength into your mind. Speak confidence into your spirit. Speak vision into your future. The world is already full of voices telling you what you can't do. You don't need to be one of them. When you control your mindset, you control your life. You stop reacting to obstacles and start rising above them. You stop fearing uncertainty and start embracing challenge. You stop waiting for confidence and start creating it through action. This inner war will never fully disappear, but you will become a warrior strong enough to win it every time. And once you master your mind, the world has no choice but to follow your lead. Your environment is not just the place you live or the people you see. It is the invisible force shaping your thoughts, your energy, your standards, and your destiny. You may think you're making your own decisions, but in reality, your environment is quietly influencing every choice you make. The conversations you hear, the attitudes you absorb, the habits you witness, the expectations around you, they all shape who you become. And that is why the most successful people on the planet guard their environment with the same seriousness a warrior guards the gates of a kingdom. Look around your life. Every person you allow close to you is either pulling you forward or holding you back. There is no neutral presence. Some people ignite your ambition, push you higher, remind you of your potential, and fuel your hunger for more. Others drain your energy, distract your focus, feed your doubts, and keep you stuck in the same cycle of average thinking. The truth is simple. You cannot rise in life if you surround yourself with people who are comfortable staying low. Psychology proves this. Humans are wired with mirror neurons, cells in the brain that copy the emotions and behaviors of the people around us. If you are surrounded by complainers, you will start complaining. If you are surrounded by procrastinators, you will begin to delay your dreams. If you are surrounded by people with low standards, your standards will begin to fall. But the reverse is also true. Place yourself around disciplined people, and discipline becomes natural. Stay close to people who dream big, and your dreams will expand. Surround yourself with winners, and you will start to think, act, and rise like a winner. This is why environment is destiny. You cannot become your best self while staying in the same environment that shaped your worst habits. You cannot develop a champion mindset while standing in circles that celebrate fear, excuses, and mediocrity. If you want to grow, your environment must challenge you. It must demand more from you. It must elevate your thinking, your standards, your expectations, your work ethic. Cutting people out is not cruelty. It is clarity. You are not obligated to keep anyone in your life who refuses to grow, who disrespects your goals, or who dims your light. You cannot carry people who are committed to staying stuck. You can love people without letting them limit you. And once you remove the wrong voices, something incredible happens. You create space for the right voices. Voices that encourage you, voices that challenge you, voices that hold you accountable to the life you want to build. Voices that remind you of who you are, not who you fear you are. Surround yourself with people who speak ambition, not excuses. People who celebrate your progress, not your comfort. People who see your potential and refuse to let you settle. People who make you think bigger, act bolder, and dream louder. Your environment is the soil where your future grows. Plant yourself in the right place, and there is no limit to how high you can rise. Protect your space, elevate your circle, choose growth, choose energy, choose excellence, and watch how your entire life transforms from the inside out. You said, dreams are beautiful, powerful, and inspiring, but dreams alone have never changed a life. Vision without action is hallucination. Desire without execution is wasted potential. The world is full of people with big dreams, big ideas, big goals, yet only a handful ever turn those visions into reality. Why? Because dreaming is easy. Execution is the battlefield. Execution is where your excuses die and your discipline is born. Execution is where you stop imagining the life you want and start building it with your own 2 hands. Success does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to clarity, strategy, and relentless action. You must take that dream in your mind and break it down into steps so clear, so specific, so actionable, that you can't help but move toward it. A dream becomes a goal when you define it. A goal becomes a plan when you map it out. A plan becomes success when you execute it. Daily, consistently, unshakably. Start with clarity. What exactly do you want? Not a vague idea. Not a soft, blurry picture. A precise vision. Most people fail because they don't even know what they're aiming at. You cannot hit a target you can't see. So define your target. Be brutally specific. Who do you want to be? What do you want to achieve? What does success look like in your own eyes, not in the eyes of society? Once clarity is set, you build the blueprint. Break the dream into pieces. Big, intimidating goals become simple when you divide them into steps. Want to build a business? Break it into research, skills, product, launch, marketing, scaling. Want to transform your body? Break it into nutrition, training, sleep, habit tracking. Want financial freedom? Break it into budgeting, earning, investing, growing. Every big dream can be reduced to a list of actions that can be taken one at a time, one day at a time. But here's the truth. The blueprint means nothing without movement. Execution is where champions are created. You don't rise by planning, you rise by doing. You rise by getting uncomfortable, by showing up on days when motivation is gone, by taking imperfect action instead of waiting for perfection. Perfection kills more dreams than failure ever will. You don't need perfect, you need progress. You don't need all the answers. You need the courage to take the first step. Every action you take sends a signal to your mind, I'm serious, I'm committed, I'm becoming the person I want to be. And every step forward builds momentum. Momentum is magic. It turns effort into energy, discipline into habit, progress into acceleration. And once momentum is on your side, your dream starts pulling you instead of you pushing it. When you choose execution, you separate yourself from the majority of the world. You stop being someone who hopes and start being someone who creates. You stop fantasizing about success and start earning it through consistency and sacrifice. This is your blueprint for transformation, clarity, structure, action, repetition. The dream is the spark, execution is the fire, and the moment you step into action, the universe moves with you. Your future is waiting on the other side of movement. Start now, act boldly, and build the life your dream has been showing you all along. Discipline is the force that separates the life you have from the life you want. It is the bridge between intention and achievement, between dreaming and doing, between potential and reality. Without discipline, motivation fades, habits crumble, and goals dissolve into wishful thinking. But with discipline, even without motivation, you become a force that cannot be stopped. You become dangerous. You become someone who does not wait for the perfect moment, but creates it. Most people treat discipline like a punishment. They think it's restrictive. They think it takes away freedom. But the truth is the exact opposite. Discipline is the purest form of freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from inconsistency, freedom from the chaos of living a life controlled by impulses, emotions, and excuses. When you master discipline, you master your future. Discipline is not about doing what feels good. It's about doing what is necessary. It's showing up even when you're tired, even when you're uninspired, even when no one is clapping for you. It's choosing long-term gains, short-term comfort. It's sacrificing your excuses in exchange for your evolution. Discipline is the moment you tell your mind, I'm in control now. Not you. Understand something powerful. You are not born disciplined. You build discipline the same way you build muscle, through repetition, through discomfort, through choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your discipline grows. Every time you choose progress over procrastination, your discipline strengthens. Every time you push through resistance, your discipline sharpens into a weapon you can use for the rest of your life. There will be days when you don't want to move, days when you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained. Those days are the moments that shape you. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired, but champions work hard especially when they don't. That is what sets them apart. That is why they rise while others fade. Discipline is doing the work without needing the mood. Psychologically, discipline rewires your identity. When you take consistent action, something shifts internally. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries, and start seeing yourself as someone who executes. And identity is one of the most powerful motivational forces in the human mind. When you view yourself as disciplined, you act like it automatically. But that identity begins with one choice, the choice to do what you know you must. Discipline also protects your dreams. It shields them from distraction, doubt, and laziness. It keeps you focused when the world tries to pull you in every direction. It locks your attention onto your goals like a laser, preventing you from drifting into old habits or falling back into comfort. Never forget this. Success is not owned by the talented. It is owned by the disciplined. The disciplined outlast the gifted. The disciplined outperform the lucky. The disciplined rise even when everything around them is falling apart. You don't need more motivation. You need more consistency. You don't need perfect conditions. You need daily commitment. You don't need to feel ready. You need to start. Build unshakable discipline, and the world becomes bendable in your hands. You will rise not because you are the strongest or the smartest, but because you are the one who refuses to stop. You said, "This is it. This is the moment where everything changes, or nothing changes." Every thought you've had about your future, every dream you've nurtured, every spark of potential waiting inside you, it all comes down to a single, undeniable truth. Your success is your responsibility, your choice, your action. No one else will do it for you. No circumstances, no timing, no luck, no miracle will carry you to the life you've imagined. Only you can. And the moment to decide is now. Stop for a second and feel it. The weight of your own power. It's heavier than fear, stronger than doubt, and sharper than hesitation. That power has been inside you all along. You have been holding the key, but maybe you were too afraid to turn it. Maybe you were waiting for someone to validate your worth, someone to give permission, someone to hand you the roadmap. But permission isn't coming. Validation isn't coming. The roadmap exists, but it's written by your choices, your hands, your relentless action. The people who rise in life are not necessarily smarter, luckier, or more talented than everyone else. They are the ones who refuse to wait, refuse to doubt, refuse to settle. They decided once and for all that their dreams were non-negotiable, that their future was worth every ounce of sweat, every late night, every sacrifice, every failure, and every battle with themselves. They acted even when they didn't feel like it. They moved when the world was still. They chose themselves when nobody else would. You have everything you need inside you to be unstoppable. You have the power to overcome fear. You have the courage to silence doubt. You have the resilience to rise from failure stronger than before. And the world doesn't get to decide whether you succeed. You do. The only thing standing between you and your dream is the decision to finally act, to finally commit, to finally own your life. Today, your future self is watching. Your future self is waiting, hoping, praying that you will take ownership, that you will stop hesitating, that you will stop relying on excuses. Your future self does not care about your fears. It only cares about your choices. And every decision you make today, every action you take, is building that future self, shaping that reality, creating that life. The person you want to become is already inside you, ready to be unleashed, ready to be built, ready to rise. So stand up. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Look in the mirror and say, I am responsible. I am capable. I am taking control. Decide that your dreams are worth every ounce of struggle, every moment of discomfort, every ounce of relentless effort. Decide that you will not wait for someone else to lift you, because you are more than capable of lifting yourself. Decide that you are no longer a passenger in your own life. You are the driver, the architect, the creator of your destiny. The path will not be easy. It will demand everything you have. It will test you, push you, and challenge you at every turn. But every step forward is proof that you are rising. Every challenge conquered is proof that you are unstoppable. Every decision to choose yourself is proof that your success is already in your hands. This is your life. This is your moment. Choose yourself. Take action. Own your future. Rise now and never look back.